Alright, here's the VF750. We're getting ready to do the throttle sync on it. I'm going to start the bike up and let it run for a little bit. So let's see if it'll start. It's kind of a cool morning. Let's see what we got. Let me turn the choke on. It is definitely a cold start. Haven't had that bike running yet. So let's see what she'll do. I guess I need to turn the gas onto it. That will help, hopefully. So I'm going to let this warm up for a little bit, and then we're going to start doing the sync on the carburetor. Alright, so I adjusted the idle to about 1,000 on the RPMs. She's running good. Sounds good. It's just idling. The choke is off at the moment. Choke is all the way off. Idling pretty good. We're going to let it warm up a little bit more before we do any of the adjustments to it. I'm not sure if this temperature gauge is working, but it hasn't moved at all. I don't know if you can see that. We're going to let it idle just a little bit more. It does have a nice sound. These V4 sound so good when they're running, in my opinion. One of the better sounding bikes. Take it in a little bit. Okay, here's the carb set up at idle. You can see how far they're off. Alright guys, so I got the carb pretty much synced, I think. I ran into a couple little problems. One, when I was messing around with the number 1 cylinder, there's a spring in here that goes to the adjuster to kind of sync them both. And I found out that spring, every time I would adjust that screw, that cylinder would go down on the gauge, and then I'd adjust it a little more and it'd shoot way up, down, kept going all over the place. So these are the adjusters you use to adjust the carbs when you're syncing the carbs. And what happened here is where this pencil's pointed, that spring had kind of popped out of place, and so I had to take it out and reinsert it in properly. It was hung up on the metal tab that sits right above where that pencil's pointing, and after getting that straight, then I was able to get the carb synced properly. So I started looking at it a little closer, and the spring had popped out partially and was underneath the set screw. So I had to take that spring out and fix it, and that was kind of challenging to do with, I don't know if you can see in there, just a little bit of area to work with. But I got 1 and 3 adjusted really well and was working on 2, and to do 2 I had to shut the bike off and keep shutting it off and restarting it, shutting it off and restarting it, and I had it pretty close, and then I think my battery has gone dead on the bike. It doesn't want to start back up, and so yeah, I think the battery's dead. So I'm charging the battery up. Okay, I don't know if you can hear me, but we've got 1, 3, and 4 pretty close, so we still need to bring 2 down some, so we're going to adjust on that now. Alright, I think we've got them pretty close. So we're going to adjust our idle back down and check it one last time, but I think we're pretty good. gauge is working, so that's good. Tach's working. So I think she's ready for the tank to go back on it. One thing I did find out pulling it out of the garage, that front calipers are sticking now. The rear seems pretty good. The front is now sticking. So that's not a good thing, but you know, what you expect for this bike that's been sitting for so long. So, like I said, it's hard to show you where the adjusters are and how to adjust it. It's something you're gonna have to kind of feel for, and you'll eventually get it. Just get you, I use this Carburetor Pro or Carb Tune Pro, and it seems to work pretty good for what I've used it for. So thanks. You know, we'll have more to come on this bike. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and be more to come.